Hey guys, so I am going to review this 3D figure test with you that you guys took last week. If you are here in tutorials, this is what you will be covering in order to retest. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at number 1. It says a triangle prism and its dimensions in centimeters is shown in the diagram. And you know what I like to do? I like to kind of shade in our basis. What we have here is a right angle. So it says a triangular prism and its dimensions in centimeters is shown in the diagram. What is the total surface area of the prism in square centimeters? So if I'm working this problem out right now, you know, I have 3 steps. I always tell you guys that if you follow my work and my instructions, you would be just fine. So let's go ahead and talk about finding the area of a base. That is 1/2 the base times height. So then all you have to do now for step 1 is plug in 1/2, and I'm going to identify, well, the base of it. Let's see. If I take this section off, I am going to have, let's see, 15. If I pull that out, it's my base. And the height of it is going to be 8. So if I multiply, let's see, get my calculator, and 15 times, let's go back, 15 times 8 times 1/2 of that, 1 divided by 2, is going to give you 60. So this answer is going, the big B is going to equal to 60. So now I just found step 1. Now I'm going to go through step 2. So step 2, we're going to find the perimeter of the base. So it's this base that's pulled out. We're going to take 15. We're also going to take the 8 and the 17. So 15, which is our perimeter, and we're going to add to that 8 plus 17. That is, in my head, that's 40. All right, so now we got all the steps right now. We're going to need all these answers right here. So now we're going to go to step 3. And step 3 is looking at the total surface area. And that's 2 times the big B plus perimeter times the entire height of the triangular prism. So then we're going to plug in answers to big B is 60. My perimeter right here, perimeter is 40. And now if I stand this prism up on the basis, or just one of the base, when I stand it up, the entire height, this is the height of the prism. So the height of the prism is 10. And remember, this also is lateral. So if they ask you for lateral, lateral is just the pH. So then 2 times 60, 120, and 40 times 10, add those zeros, that is 400. So if it were just the lateral, it would be 400. So the total surface area of this problem, 120 times 4, so that's going to equal to 520. So that's my final answer. Well, I can eliminate A, B, C, and D. I'm sorry, A, B, C, because I just worked it out, and my answer is D. All right. So now we're going to go to number 2. So number 2 says a poster storage tube in the shape of a cylinder. So I'm going to create a cylinder. The diameter is 3.5. That means that it's all the way across. 3.5 is the diameter, but I need to halfen that so I can get the radius. And when we divide that by 2, what do we get? Wait a minute, give me a second. I'm putting it in the calculator. 3.5 divided by 2, 1.75. So the radius is equal to 1.75, and the volume is 122.5. I'm sorry, guys. Let me turn the light on. I'm going to stop it for a second. Okay, when my light goes off in the room, I have to get up and walk around. So radius is 1.75. So 122.5 and pi cubic inches. This means that pi is already included. So then volume is equal to big B, which is pi r squared, times the height. So now I'm just going to plug in, since I already have volume, 122.5. Remember, don't include pi into this equation. I'm not going to even write it down. I'm not going to include it right now. I'll put it at the end. So you're not going to so you won't get confused with calculating. So here, remember, I don't need pi, so I'm not going to add it. My radius is 1.75 squared. And what is my height? Did they give me a height? What is the height? Okay, so I don't know the height. So I'm going to rewrite 122.5, put in my calculator, 175. So 175 squared, 30625 with the decimal, so that is 3.0625 times height, because now we're looking for height. So now I'm going to divide both of them by 3.0625, 3.0625, and remember, we're looking for height. So then this same number divided by itself, this is elimination. That means you have 0 pairs. So I'm looking for height. So I'm going to put this number to the calculator, 122.5, and I'm going to divide that by 3.0625. Oh, let me see, what did I do wrong? Let's go back. Get this and enter. Again. Delete that decimal, and I'm going to enter. Okay, so I got 40. So my answer, I kept trying to put the decimal, but I didn't need that. So my height is 40. So now the missing height is solved. So the height was 40. So then anytime you see the pi added on, it's pretty much like in terms of pi. So you didn't need it. All right, so now we're on number 3. I assume that's fulgurites, or pieces of glass in the shape of a cylinder. All right, so a student found a fulgurite with a height of 21 inches and diameter of 6 inches. Which equation can be used to find the volume of the fulgurite in cubic inches? So I am assuming if it is pieces of glass in the shape of a cylinder, I can just create the cylinder. So then it was a diameter of 6 inches, and we know we have to halven that to get the radius, which would be 3. So the radius would be 3. And the student found the height is 21. So the height is 21. It's always good to show the work, and that way you can always get your answer right. So volume is equal to pi r squared times the height. So if I just plug in 3.14, and then my radius is going to be 3 squared, and the height is 21. Let's see what answer works. So this is the answer that I'm looking for right here. Well, this is diameter, so we know it's not those two. And it's very obvious because we know how to do this, because we have this squared right here, and there's nothing here. So the best answer choice was B. All right, so that ends number 3. Let's go ahead and look at number 4. All right, number 4, the dimensions of a cylinder are shown in the diagram. So the circumference of the base, is about, well, we have two of these answer choices, 25.23 centimeters and 18.2 centimeters and 44.08. Then it says the lateral surface area of square centimeters, and then it has all this. So we're going to go through it. So we're going to see. So if I'm looking for circumference, it's pi times the diameter. So that means that when I calculate 3.14 and my diameter is 5.8, because they are asking you about the circumference. And so then when I work this out, let's put it in the calculator. So it is 3.14 times 5.8, and it's 18.212. So 18.212. Uh-oh, here we go. So it's C. So now we're going to find the lateral. And so the lateral surface area is just 2 pi RH, because that's all they want. They don't want the added on. So we're going to plug in 2 times 3.14. And remember, we need the radius. So I'm going to take 5.8 and I'm going to divide it. Oh, let's backtrack. So divide that by 2. And I got 2.9. So the radius from 5.8 is 2.9. And then the height is 7.6. So now let's see what we can calculate with this answer. So then 2 times 3.14 times 2.9 times 7.6. That's 138 point. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. So our answer was B for that one. These are pretty easy. All right, so a bowling ball shaped like a spear has a diameter. That means all the way across